Thanks you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you about your career. As you mentioned, you've recently retired and you're taking it easy. But just as a start, can you please give us a background on who you are, what is your background?
Well, thanks, Danny, for allowing me to share my story of my career with you. I grew up in the Pretoria area and attended a technical college, and then went on to get my diploma in structural design at the Pretoria Technikon, and then I graduated from Pretoria University. My background is that I grew up in a middle-class home, and I was fortunate enough to be taught good manners, good moral values, and those are things that are important to build anything, whether it be family, career, is values. And if you've got that, you've got the first step.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good.
All right. And you specialize in structures. I mean, when you still were employed, you were a specialist in structures.
My speciality was in pavement design and materials.
I see. Okay.
And I started that when I left school at the same firm that I retired in.
Okay.
And so I had it from basics right up to, I would say, into the mid-90s. Then I moved more into a management role.
All right.
And then I was CEO for the company for about 15 years.
Okay.
But I never left the technical side. I was always involved because of the strengths that I had there and the experience I had there.
Yeah.
I was fortunate, again, in a small firm you have to do a lot.
Yeah.
And you get involved with a lot of administration and business decisions. And so I had a diverse career, which made it a lot of fun, and I learned a lot through life.
So your pavement design and materials is your basic technical specialty.
That was the anchor,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I'll tell you later on how it developed.
Okay. But then who inspired you to become a civil engineer? I'm sure you must have somebody you looked up to.
Well, that's a life story. You don't always, when you're young, you don't always look at the opportunities. You have a certain passion, and I think one of my passions was sport.
Okay.
And I wasn't an academic scholar. I played a lot of sport.
Okay.
And I was good at most of them, but I only mastered one. And that was my focus. And then when I left school, obviously you all have to ask the question, what
next?
What next? There's a step here.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate to meet Mr. Adrian Berg, who was at that time a partner of the firm MBS.
Okay.
And I think I worked hard, and I think he liked that. And I was eager, and I was passionate. And I've always been in love for the environment, for physical environment. And it was easy for me to go into civil engineering. Actually, it was a passion, a natural passion.
Oh, that's good.
And it was never work. It was
something you love.
A hobby.
That's good.
Yeah. So I think that's why I'm very grateful for Mr. Berg.
Yeah.
And he gave me the opportunity to go to university, and I don't think I even knew what university was about. And I think he saw something in me, which at that time I didn't see. And he had a belief in me, and he groomed me, and then I went on to obviously being interested and then managing the business.
Okay. And if you didn't become an engineer, what do you think you would have been?
I think I would have. I'd say you always follow. You do something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. And
I was very passionate about sport. And I suppose in those days, sport wasn't a big money spinner as it is today.
Yes.
I can only think of myself in the sports arena, and I think maybe a teacher with physical education as a subject, other than that, I can't see myself anywhere else. You know,
Okay.
having knowing the bigger sphere of careers.
Yes.
I always think I could never be a medical doctor. I could never, and I didn't have the ability at the time. I was, you know, sometimes you have choices in life, and even at a young age, and that's where you need guidance of parents to choose the right career because you're passionate about it.
Yes. Yeah.
My daughter is, let's say, on the sporting side now, and I see what fun she has with the children. And she's not worried about the money. She just loves the children.
She just loves going to her job. And that's important. I think that's key.
Very.
That's key.
It's not about the money.
Yeah.
If you want to make money, if you go to financial services, and they're the guys that make the money.
That's true. But then, what are the highlights of your career that you can remember? You know, I'm sure there's lots, but you know, just a few.
I'll give you about 4 or 5.
Okay.
I think my highlights is first meeting Mr. Berg.
Okay.
He was a very practical and astute engineer, and very conservative business ideas. You know, when you go through the age of between 30 and 40, you're actually a little hot wire.
Yeah.
And you think you know everything. And I can remember challenging sometimes, why are you doing this and why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And if I look back now, I can only laugh at myself because what I was suggesting wasn't the right thing, because you know, time tells the story.
Yes.
And everything I had suggested, well, it didn't work out too well. So I always say that you've got to find somebody that can mentor, and somebody that's wise, and somebody who's experienced life.
Yeah.
Find that man and stick with him, because you're going to learn a lot from him, more than from books and from university.
True. So you met him when you were doing your in-service training, or you met him before you even going to study?
No, he was the man who interviewed me when I was 17 years old.
Oh, before you even decided to go to study some engineering?
No, look, I knew that I had a brother-in-law that was doing civil engineering.
Okay.
And I liked what he did.
Ah, okay.
So when I looked for a job when I left school, I just looked for something that was in the physical environment.
So you were lucky you met him at the right time?
Correct. No, so I think, so you asked me, that was probably one of the stepping stones.
That's cool.
Without that man in my life and speaking into my life, I think I would have had a...
So you had a good mentor in him?
Very much so.
Okay.
And then I think through the years, and building up the knowledge and experience in pavements and materials was probably a highlight, because that sustained me and the firm for a long period of time. And then the fact that the last of the cherry on the top was the implementation of a road pavement strategy for the N3 toll concession roads.
Okay.
There were problems there, and they called me in, and I formulated a 30-year program. And we're halfway down that program, and everything's worked well.
Oh, that's good.
And I think the shareholders are happy.
Yeah.
The problems that we had to encounter. And so the challenges there, and I think I was able to give the challenge. And I think the other thing that stood me in good was, with this experience and with Mr. Barrett's experience, we were able to not manufacture, but come up with new technology and new products into the road industry, which are now being used in the industry.
Oh, that's good.
And I think that's satisfying.
Yeah.
We gave one of our products to a lady in South Africa, and she took it further because we didn't have time. And when I go visit my daughter and I see one of my products in New Zealand,
wow,
that's quite satisfying. So,
that's good, yeah.
And
it's not about the money, as you said.
No, it's not about the money, it's about the satisfaction of doing something. Because the engineer is a story about uplifting people.
Yes.
And improving the environment for people. And I think because of my natural affinity or love for people, I want to see them improve. Now, an engineer is given certain attributes, and you've got to apply those.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't see myself in another role.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, some of these things you can only do as a civil engineer. I mean, you won't be able to do, for instance, the pavement job you've done on the N3. I mean, that's
you cannot do it. And I add Mr. Bach's experience.
Yeah.
You know, you need 60 years of experience.
yeah,
Because you've got to start off somewhere, and you're going to say, okay, and project yourself over 30 years, and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. The traffic's going to change. The environment's going to change. The materials.
yes. So you have to see that far in the future.
That's right. And,
Yeah.
and I think that's what is satisfying, and that's why retiring, I say, you're leaving something better.
Yeah,
It's working. You know, the N3 carries the heaviest traffic in South Africa.
yes, that's true.
And we introduced the product, the steel slag aggregate from Newcastle. And that was just something that came, and somebody walked in my office and said, have you ever thought of steel slag? And I said, what's it all about? And it just came at the right time.
Jeez.
And they were using it, and we've done over 500,000 tons of it. And it's
We're still working today.
Still working today.
Wow.
So that's good.
Yeah, that's I must say
satisfying.
those are good. I mean, those are highlights that I'm
Yes.
sure they're envy of a lot of people.
Sure.
Yeah. Any regrets? Anything you have done differently in your career?
I had it. Well, the regrets I do have is that I never took typing and music at school. But other than that, I have no regrets.
Is it?
Yeah.
You had a good career.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I
that's good.
loved the people. I loved the environment of the whole industry,
Yeah.
but specifically the practice.
Okay.
So it's about people, and you must be passionate about something.
That's true. And what would you advise an aspiring engineer? What should they know about becoming an engineer?
All right. This is a good one. You can talk a whole half hour on this one.
Okay.
I read. Technical bulletins, whatever your speciality is.
Yeah.
But get on top of your game.
Yeah.
And in that way, you win the confidence of your staff and the confidence of your clients. And then I think this is something which, even in life, you know, we don't learn from history. And here, as engineers, we got to learn from our own mistakes and
Yes.
other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't do them again.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't repeat the same mistakes all the time.
And people don't do that. You'll see one guy do something, and then
You forget it, or you think it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah, and what I also see in the industry, there's a 10-year cycle, because the guy who did the first mistake, he moves on 10 years, then the next guy comes
Somebody that makes the same mistake.
the same mistake.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't learn from our past experiences.
Okay.
I mean, you just take the GFLIP project. I mean, there are a lot of issues on the GFLIP project that didn't work, or whatever reason, and they've done investigation. Now that knowledge should be passed through the industry,
Yeah.
because we don't want to make the same mistake.
Yeah. It mustn't be kept for us, the people that only work there. It must be, as we've said,
For the
in
industry,
the industry, because these things we're
Yeah.
going to encounter them again in the future.
So all I'm saying to a young engineer is, first of all, be patient. You find young engineers coming out of university and they think they arrived. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
There's people skills you've got to develop. It is a technical knowledge base that you've got to.
Takes time.
Takes time, and you've got to find a mentor and a sound one in your field of
Yeah.
expertise,
Yeah.
and then you'll grow quicker. And somebody that's willing to teach you. And Mr. Bach was a model in that case.
Yeah.
Not only for me, he did it for the whole firm. And I think that's important. Be patient. I find young engineers come out and they want to get their PRN in 3 years'
Yes.
time. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You've got to have the experience with the PRNs.
That's true.
And then once they get the PRNs,
They want to start their own firms.
there you go. And
Yeah.
that's why we have small failures all over the place.
Yeah.
But they're costly failures.
Yeah.
And people, I always say, it takes 10 years to groom an engineer
I agree.
after graduation.
I agree with you. I must say. And I like the fact, the mentorship, I think it's very key, because
Yes,
you need somebody to hold your hand first.
correct.
Somebody must hold your hand for a while and learn the ropes. As you say, that will also help you learn from previous people's mistakes.
Sure.
With a mentor, you can get further quicker.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very much so. And you just, again, project into somebody's life that they can pull out when they have to.
Yeah.
Those are the challenges. But young engineers must just be patient.
Yeah.
They're clever people because if they get to university, they're clever.
Yeah.
But it's life skills they need now and knowledge.
Yeah. And to succeed, I think that's not just in engineering, but to succeed beyond your academic, you need a balance of your knowledge from varsity or technical and life skills.
Sure.
And the combination of that, if you can balance the two, then I think you have a chance of going further.
Correct. And it's easy to get a degree because you're an individual doing it.
Yeah.
But when you get out there, you might have to supervise 100 people.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge on its own.
Yeah.
And if you don't have people skills,
you have a problem.
You have a problem. You can be brash and everybody wants to work with you and they come to work with an attitude.
Yeah.
But you can make it a very pleasant environment if you...
and get the best out of them.
Yes. And I think that's where we lack today. I think the computers and the little cell phones have made people have a short circuit.
Yeah.
And it takes a long time to build a career and a network, and a pleasant one.
Yeah.
You can bully your way into things, but it's not.
It will come back to bite you at some point.
That's
definitely.
It's a short circuit.
Yeah. But then, what were the challenges you faced in your career and how you overcame them?
Again, because I had good mentors, the challenges were always a doorway.
Yeah.
And if I didn't know, I would ask. But I think the challenges that I had to face in management was the transformation of South Africa and all the new political ideas and laws and things like that. I had a very good friend there, again a mentor.
Yeah.
I had my friend Matt Sekhwali, who we joined and we became very good friends. And because we were isolated as white people on what was going on in the politics, I always used to ask him, what's happening?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Yeah.
And we would never have been able to play that game with the hostility that was in politics
at that time. Yeah.
At the time. So again, a mentor.
You go into an environment you don't know, you get somebody who knows it.
That's it. There you go.
That's
we're working all over Africa. Let's keep it in Africa. We are working West Africa, North Africa, everywhere. Now, those markets would never have opened to us if we weren't politically reformed.
Yeah.
And there's one section of our business which also through acquisition, marine engineering.
Okay.
And these guys, they're in Stellenbosch, and they're working all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So now, on the one hand, what's going on in South Africa, readjustment, and obviously the economy is not helping us a lot. We've been able to obtain work overseas. And so the decision we made then, I can't remember the date.
It's still paying off today.
It pays off today.
So you would say the fact that you guys were open-minded about the situation in South Africa actually opened up opportunities for you other than South Africa. Now you operate, the business is operating all over the world.
Yes, and I think it was the right thing for sustainability for our people.
Yeah.
There were sad moments where we had to maybe do some reductions in certain expertise because of the environment we were in. And we had people. I had people that had been working for the firm and for me for about 30 years.
Wow. Man.
And we were very socially orientated. And that was, again, we were fortunate to build a lot of houses for our people, even before 1994.
Yes, yeah.
And those people have retired and moved on, and they got their houses now, and they were looked after. And I think that's the satisfaction that you have when you see people change.
Yeah.
And your ability. Money is a vehicle, and it's what you do with the money. Do I buy the motorboat? Or do I help somebody?
Or share it with the people that happen to get there.
Now, what is better? You put something into a man's life and waste petrol on the water. So
that's true. And you briefly touched on this. The industry has obviously changed since your days as a junior. So in your in brief moments, how has it changed?
I think financially and politically, the market is very aggressive.
Yeah.
I mentioned that we could help people.
Yeah.
We can't do that anymore because everything's so tight. You know, the margins, the survival,
Yeah.
the way we obtain work. So what I want to say is that a lot of compassion and a lot of fun has gone out the industry. If you walk into an office now, you can see that people are stressed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're all worried about the next, where they're getting the next job, if there is another job. We didn't worry about things like that. You know, what we focused on was quality of work.
Yeah.
And
that spoke volume for you.
Yeah, we didn't have to go around and tout for work. We always had work.
Yeah.
That was the foresight of Mr. Baer. You know, he said, Hugh, just give quality. We don't want to be the biggest firm. Just give quality, and you'll always have work. And that was our motto. And that's true. That's what we lived to.
Yeah.
But today, sadly, we're not always judged with that.
Yeah. There's other things involved.
Yeah, they're judged by the bottom line. You know? And sometimes it's sad because you see good firms going down at the expense of people that can't do the work.
Yeah.
And it could be a political motivation or so. The aggressiveness in the political changes has changed the industry and made it tougher for business. And fortunately, as I said to you before, we seek a bigger market. So we also took a positive out of the transformation.
Yeah.
We didn't just sit down and say, "Well, it's me now,"
and became victims.
You were good, yeah.
You didn't become victims.
And I just hope that as our political awareness becomes more mature in all our societies, that things will change.
Yeah.
I was listening to the budget speech and I heard the Minister of Finance talking and there's another minister talking afterwards. And I compared him to the first ministers we had and what was coming out of their mouth. And it was good.
Yeah.
You know? And I thought, well, you know, we've also had to wait for maturity of politicians.
Yeah.
You know, what politicians, you think they're the greatest, but sometimes you get bad eggs.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
And but when some of the younger politicians are talking now, they understand this, and I'm surprised at what they say.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, well, I'm so proud of them because they're talking sense. So it's again.
So we are evolving. I mean, the country is evolving.
It's painful, but yes, it's and
change is pain.
Yes, that's true.
And yeah, I mean, lastly, what are you doing now? I mean, you playing golf or what are you doing now?
I give some of my time to WSB.
Okay.
And then I'm looking for those quiet places where I can just get away from the maddening crowd. And so I don't look for work that's going to get me involved in arguments and stuff like that.
Yes.
A lot of people come and they want me to do forensics on roads, and and it inevitably leads to a court case or arbitration.
Yeah.
That's not me. I don't look for trouble. I rather solve the problem. And a lot of the times when you get into these cases, it's because of lack of knowledge and plain human stupidity and egos. Egos are a big thing today. And when I see things like you caused this thing, don't try and let me unravel it. Because it's not a technical problem sometimes. It's a
human problem.
Human problem. So I don't want to get involved in those. I did too, and I didn't enjoy it. You know, it's not my natural forte. My forte is being innovative and helping people. And so, as I said, I'm going to fly under the radar and
do as little as possible.
My wife's very worried about that one, so I think she's going to keep me busy.
Okay. So I mean, that's the luxury of being in the position you are now. You can choose what you want to do now.
Yes.
You don't have to take everything that comes on you.
And I don't have to take anybody's nonsense.
Yeah, you can choose what you want, and that's the luxury of being where you are now.
I am in WSB, mentoring a lot of young engineers.
Oh, that's good.
And because, you know, there's a big gap in our industry.
I think there is, yeah.
We lost a lot of, let's call it the next tier down,
Yeah.
the 45 to 55 group. So you've got younger people managing businesses, so they're not getting technically sound.
The finance side of the business,
Yes.
but not the technical
So
side.
they've asked me to stay on mentor
Awesome.
those people. So I go back and I visit them on sites and
Awesome.
I spend a day
Oh,
or two
that's
with
good,
them.
yeah.
Just saying, no, you don't do that, you don't do that. Very similar to Mr. Dad, what he did to me.
You're giving it back now.
Yeah, I'd give a bit of a rev here and there, and
And you watch them make the same mistakes
yeah,
as you did.
well, no. You know, when you've got people that want to learn, it's such so exciting.
It makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, it makes it worthwhile. Then you see them change, and how their careers start prospering and things like that. I think that's great.
Yeah. No, thanks you, and I think that was very worthwhile, and I'm sure somebody watching this and they an aspiring civil engineer, they learn a lot from this.
Right.
I really appreciate your time. Yeah, hope to see you soon on the road somewhere. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
All right then. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Okay.